How worried are you that people will start to get lax as we move into level 3? Because there is a slight psychological element in moving down a level.
I think through all of this, we've been really mindful of human behaviour. And I don't say that in any way that means that New Zealanders behave any differently than anyone else. But we've had to build in human behaviour into all of our thinking because naturally, if people have the opportunity to, they will want contact with others. But alongside that, you look at the Google data, which is probably the best indication we have other than breaches picked up by police. And New Zealand's compliance has been astounding relative to other countries as well. And I think that has been because people have seen that following the guidelines has made a difference. And they've really shown just a sense of responsibility to one another. Well, we couldn't have done any of this if people hadn't felt like that.
Do you think the message has got through that in terms of the fun side of life? There's still not much more that they can do.
Yes, I do think that's got through. It doesn't mean I think that will be perfect, but I've seen, I try, because I don't have contact with the public at the moment, and that's usually how I get a sense of how people are feeling about issues and things that are going on. I've had to rely a little bit more on the snapshots I get through social media, and so I use that as my window into what people are hearing and picking up. Mm-hmm. And I've seen people, use jokey memes that basically it's stay at home, stay at home, stay at home, and stay at home with takeaways, and that might be trivializing it, but I think that gives me a sense that people do recognize that we are opening up the economy, but we're not opening up people's social lives.
Can you say, because your focus is also now starting to tilt more toward what lies ahead.
Yeah.
Are you worried about what lies ahead and just how much the government can do to mitigate it?
We're very much focused on it, and the entire globe is. There's the immediate phase, the support phase, while our health response is being really accelerated. Then there's a phase of rebuilding. And people have talked about almost this sense of regeneration in the aftermath. This is an opportunity for New Zealand for us to accelerate what we were already doing, but at a faster pace. And so, worry isn't quite the word that I would use right now. This is a chance for us. This is an opportunity for New Zealand.
What is the first thing that you'll do at level 3 that you can't do now?
Support small owner operators and local businesses. I've been thinking about that a lot. It's not so much that I miss any particular thing or product, but I do want to make the most of the opportunity to support people because that's something I've been acutely aware of for this entire level 4. So that's one of the first things I'll do. I've already downloaded the app that allows me to do contactless ordering for local Wellington businesses.
Yeah. What's the first item on your shopping list?
I'll probably get a contactless coffee. And then probably there's a few restaurants opposite where I live on Tinakori Road, and I walk past their closed doors if I go out for a bit of a walk, and I've just been feeling for them. The day before we went into lockdown, I walked past one of the local restaurants and they were in there packing up, and I gave them a wave, and they shouted something nice to me as I was walking across the road, and I thought, they are directly affected by this, and so for them to have felt that solidarity with all of us, I thought was a real indication of the way people were feeling. So I'm really looking forward to being able to support them now that they can operate again.
Have you spoken to Bill English or John Key at all during?
No, I haven't, but I have seen some of their thoughts and their thinking. But I don't think it's unusual for the fact that I haven't. I'm not sure whether or not Bill necessarily or John Key necessarily reached out to Helen during different parts of their time.
John Key talked to Helen quite a lot. on foreign affairs.
And and I've talked to Helen because some of her roles at the moment are directly relevant to our health response as well, from a global perspective. But I don't hesitate to reach out and find ideas regardless of someone's political persuasion. But of course, I also want to take politics out of some of these issues as well. And that usually means taking politicians out of it as well.
When you talk about the agenda, there will be a lot of scrutiny of exactly what decisions you do make in terms of individual projects that may go ahead, may not go ahead. Are you going to have to do things that Labor supporters won't necessarily like?
Well, that's a massive assumption there around the ongoing infrastructure investment. There's two things that I would say to that. First, keeping in mind we had $12 billion worth of investment already announced as part of the upgrade, the Big New Zealand upgrade. So there's already been a significant piece of work to identify projects in the near term that New Zealand both needs and wanted to prioritise investing in. The second thing I would say is that keep in mind that despite the fact that we're three different parties, we have always had strong foundations based on the fact that there are areas of significant consensus for us. And we use that to develop up the plan that we've been running to as a government all the way through. And that included sharing the benefits of the economy more fairly. And under that were things like investment in R&D, improving and growing trade opportunities and regional growth. Then there was always been the wellbeing piece, and then there's been the outward-looking piece around New Zealand's reputation. So that's been our plan as a government. My intention is that going forward, we use that as our foundation still, because that is where our consensus lies and where there is still a huge amount of investment opportunity for us, particularly around the sustainable transition of New Zealand's economy. But what you're probably pointing out is that we're doing all of this in an election year. And I do think that means that there will be areas down the track, none that I think will jeopardise our ability to get on with a strong agenda, but where you will continue to see the parties differentiate on the different areas where they want to see ongoing focus.
My big lockdown problem has been that my tap washer has gone, so I have a dripping tap. Now, I know that you have some proficiency in plumbing, so I'm wondering whether you'd come around and fix my washer when you can arrange the contactless service delivery.
Claire, what I'll say is Bunnings are doing click and collect, so you can order your washer.
I have washers.
Maybe we could set up a video and I could help talk you through it.
Thank you.
It's one of the many services I offer.
Thank you. Good luck.
Bye.
Bye.